Hello, my name is Leah Woods. I work with a company called ReStartDocs.net. We are a document preparation company. Today I'm going to do a series of videos about how to file Chapter 7 in particular, bankruptcy, without an attorney. So I'm going to try to make these videos as short as possible, and I'm going to share my personal experience, what happened to me when I filed bankruptcy about 3 years ago. So step one is you're going to gather all your bills. I'm going to share my screen here so you can see a particular website. And you want to go and get a copy of your credit report so you can know what's actually on there. And I have two things listed up here: annualcreditreport.com and freecreditreport.com. A lot of people will direct you to freecreditreport.com. I just want to kind of give you a heads up about it because it says right here, if you don't cancel your membership within 7 days, you'll be billed $21.95. Annual Credit Report doesn't really have any warning like that on here, but either way, whichever service that you use to get your credit report, if it's going to be a paid service, if you don't want to pay for the service, make sure you cancel within that time period so you don't get a charge. They don't refund the money. They will just let it roll over to the next month whenever you canceled if you forgot, and they won't refund your money though. Just an FYI. Okay. One of the things you want to make sure you do is gather all your bills, open all your bills, look at all your bills, because our state governments are getting really bold. I'm seeing this more and more happening. I've only been a document preparer for about 2 years now. I became one shortly after I filed my own bankruptcy. And I'm seeing this happen more and more, where people are coming in to file bankruptcy because they're under threat of wage garnishments. And this is an article that happened with a series from NPR News last year. As you can see, it says September 16th. And the person who put the article together is named Chris Arnold and Paul Klein of ProPublica. And I actually got an email from Paul, and I was sharing with him my experience about the wage garnishment, and he's kind of keeping a document of what's going on in America for all these companies that are going with wage garnishment. It's starting to become the norm for these companies to not work with you and just go after wage garnishments as a source of collections versus telling you. And I'm letting you know in advance, if it's a state government, they do not have to let you know that they're going to go in and start taking off with your money. What prompted me to file bankruptcy a couple of years ago were two things. And one happened with a particular state government that they swooped in and took $1,600 on my tax return for something that was a debt that was almost 10 years old. And you did not mishear me, 10 years old. And it was something that I thought I had already taken care of. And when I contacted them, they're like, well, we've been sending you letters and it's been going to some weird address that was never mine. But they don't have to tell you. So if you have anything that's owed from a state government, particularly that, I'm always kind of warning people about, if you're going to file bankruptcy, make sure you have all your paperwork. Okay. Step two is, what type of bankruptcy do you want to file? There's a couple of different ones. For consumers, there's only actually 3 that you can get from. There's Chapter 7, which most people are going to file. There's Chapter 13 and Chapter 11. You can file Chapter 11 if you make a certain dollar amount, which is like over $332,000 in debt. So you can't file Chapter 13. You have to file Chapter 11. There's going to be some resources under these videos that you can look at. Nolo.com has a really good breakdown between the differences between Chapter 7 and Chapter 13. I am a document preparer. I can't give you any legal advice. Even telling you which bankruptcy I think would be best suited for you can be considered legal advice. So I can't even say that. But I can give you resources so you can decide yourself. Chapter 12 is for farmers and fishermen families so they can keep their equipment while they're reorganizing their debt. It's very much like a Chapter 13 for a corporation. Chapter 9 are for cities, municipalities, so you won't be filing that at all. So you're going to be deciding between filing Chapter 7 and Chapter 13. So this is the end of this first tutorial. My name is Leah Woods. I work with a company called ReStartDocs.net. We are a document preparation company, and stay tuned for the next videos because we're going to go into steps 3 and step 4. Altogether, I think there's about 10 steps, but don't worry, I'm trying to make these videos as short as possible because your time is precious. So thank you for watching. I hope you learned a lot. If you have any questions, please, by all means, submit questions. I think you can ask comments on the bottom of this video, and I will be happy to answer the questions, anything that you have. All right. Thank you.